players to an MMO and a company that cares about you, who gives a shit about how well your gaming experience is and how well your performance matters to your gaming experience. If you came to Final Fantasy XIV recently from other MMOs on your console, fear not. You're in the right place. I'd like to welcome you. Thank you. Thank you for getting out of the abusive relationships. Thank you for waking up and smelling the coffee. I know it took us all a long time. I'm just as guilty. We all had hopes. We all had dreams. Unfortunately, corporate America destroyed it for us, and now we're forced to go elsewhere. But thank you. Welcome. Welcome. So, for all the players who are still trying to figure out, because people ask me, hey, Mystic, how do I get to try Final Fantasy XIV? And once I get it, what's going on? Well, fear not. I'm here to help you on your new journey. Yes, I'm here. I will help you. So you want to go to the Play Store, and you want to go to Final Fantasy XIV Online Starter Edition through your Play Store. And down here, it will tell you, try free demo. I recommend that. Why? Because it might not be a game that you like. You might be one of those players who are just like, I don't know if it's going to be something I like. I don't want to invest money in it if it's, a game that I don't prefer. That's understandable. And guess what? They have a free trial for you, So, yeah, I encourage you. Please, try it. Go ahead. You're not losing any money, So, go ahead, download it. Now. Hit it. Go. So, once you download this, you're actually going to be, and don't worry, it's a quarter of the size of certain other MMOs that are taking, I don't know, like a quarter of your hard drive space. So, don't worry about that. You'll be actually able to free up some hard drive space with this game. So, and deleting others. But there you go. There you have it. Go ahead, download it. Try it out. Now, when you try it out, you'll see that the base game is $19.99. Now, here's my recommendation. It all depends on what you're planning on doing. If you're playing through the MSQ, which is the main story quest, then go ahead and pre-order your Shadowbringer, because then you'll also get an heirloom earring, which will increase your XP gain by 30% while you're in Disciple of War or Disciple of Magic. It doesn't work towards crafting or gathering. So if you're doing one of those two things, you get a 30% increase, and the earring scales. Okay? Really nice. Also, let's say you try the game for free, you like it, but you want to jump into, where we're at, and you want to, say, I want to get to this part of the game. I don't want to wait for Shadowbringers, because Shadowbringers does come with Heaven's Ward, and it does come with Stormblood. However, you won't be able to access those expansions until early access of Shadowbringers. It's just the way their coding's set up or something, their key registration. So, if you end up buying the pack, you can just go to get Stormblood, right? We'll have to actually, let me backtrack that. Okay. There should be add-ons down here. So, if you get the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, that's the collector's edition. You can just get, without it, $40. If you get the collector's edition, they both come with early access, which is June 28th. And they both come with the Stormblood and Heaven's Ward expansion. But if you don't want to wait, you can just go with Stormblood and then order Shadowbringers. That's completely up to you, right? So you can do that. But let's say you buy Stormblood and you want to go ahead and just get through the MSQ. You don't want to play the MSQ. You want to get to the meat. You'll still have to play Stormblood, but once you register an account, you'll get this beautiful area called the MOG station. Now, unlike any other games, where most games have their microtransactions built into the game and they want to go ahead and advertise it and spam you to death and say, hey, buy these loot crates. Hey, we have a new mount. Hey, buy, 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 buy. This game says, you know what, we're not going to bother you because you're a subscriber. If you want to go check out the MOG station for additional items, you can opt to do so, or just not be bothered whatsoever, because we don't want to harass you because you're paying customers already. We don't want to harass our customers. Novel idea. So you can come over here to the optional items, because they're optional, and then you can go to main scenario progression. Here you can find these lovely potions. I wouldn't recommend, they're on sale currently. I wouldn't recommend a Realm Reborn. I would actually recommend this one, because it'll take you through the main the first part, the Realm Reborn storyline in the Heaven's Ward, and that leads you up to Stormblood. So then you can just play Stormblood and prep for. Now, will it give you the gear? No, it just gets you through the MSQ. So you'll still have to level your character. You'll still have to get your gear. This just gets you through the story progression. Okay? So heads up. You'll still have to do that. But please go download, if you haven't tried it, for free. Try it out. And then you can make the decision. Am I going to play through the MSQ? If you do, you can just order Shadowbringers and you'll get all the expansions together. You will have to wait. So it'll only take you up to level 50. Or you can just say, hey, you know what? I'll go for the Stormblood right now. Wait. And then get the new expansion. Either way. But try it out for free. No harm. No foul. Yo, what up, brother? Final Fantasy XIV, best decision I ever made. Thank you, Irish. Thanks to you and her, Kirk. I want to thank her. He put me onto this. He definitely put me onto it. So there you guys have it. There you have it. Try it out. No harm, no foul. And I'll tell you, I want to welcome the new PS4 players, because they're coming. They're coming. Come, my minions. Come. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch this to gameplay, and we will get started. I got some real life stuff to do today, but yeah, it's been pretty good, man. It's been a wonderful, wonderful world. I think we already had our reset. Okay. Luckily for me, actually. I still have to wait till 11 to get the other one, but that's no biggie. I actually didn't get to finish the one yesterday, and I was like, you know what? That might actually not be a bad thing. Let me check. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, reset. 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 Oh, DPS is needed. Oh, my God. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, my gosh. That rarely happens. So, oh, yeah. I'm pumped, man. Seriously, guys, I do want to thank the PS4 players who, you know, are trying this out, who are coming, who are enjoying themselves. It's not for everybody. I'm not saying it is. But for the new players who are just now getting turned on, like me, like Cal, like majority of us, you know, we bought into something. You know, the thing about it is MMO players are usually what we call invested players, meaning they're typically a sure thing. If they like your product and you do your game right and you keep performance and content consistent, usually you don't. ISP, I'm going to call them today. Oh, boy. Usually MMO players are invested players, right? They're invested. They are typically a type of player who, you know, it's like, I don't want to leave. I like this game because they played it. They have time invested. They want to enjoy that game. Now, I will say that this game is not for PvP. Currently, it has it, but it's not that good. So, one of the cons, PvP needs help. It's here, but it needs some attention. I hope they resolve that in the future, but I'm not really getting my hopes up. I'm enjoying the PvE elements of the game. So I enjoy the content, I enjoy the trials, I enjoy the raids, I enjoy the dungeons, I enjoy the progression system. So I'm enjoying the entire context of the game. I enjoy the crafting, actually. I feel like it's a little very detailed, but it's relative. It has good standing in the community. The crafters do. So that's another perk. Excuse me. So once again, you know, it was amazing because I posted the video yesterday, and you know, people have just been asking. I've been getting messages, tells, all sorts of things. You know, hey, how do I get into this? How do I, you know, check this game out? Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you whatsoever. You know, Zoss, I think you're losing something. Oh, that's right. It's your subscribers. Don't worry. I found them. They're over here. Yeah, don't worry about it. I think Blizzard lost some too. Where are they at? Oh, that's right. They're over here. Yeah, bye. Bye-bye. See ya. Corporate America. Guess what? Suck my dick. You fucking greedy bastards. You fucking greedmongers. Learn something. Invest in your fucking product, you fucking douchebags. You want to make money? Guess what you got to do? You got to spend it. You got to spend it to make it. That's what it takes it. Spend it to make it. That's what it takes it. You lose it if... You lose it if you abuse it. You lose it if you abuse it. Da 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 da. Rich entitled motherfuckers can kiss my ass, kiss my ass. I'm telling you, man. It's just like, wow. Seriously. It was funny. Somebody mentioned something, you know, about something, and I'm like, I don't talk to him. I'm not getting it. I don't talk to him. I don't talk. Some of you, very few of you, will know what I'm referring to. I don't talk to them. And I don't care to. Really don't. Yeah, so I'm also going to be gearing up my lovely, oh yeah, new Scala. He's got a little bit of work to do. He's only 329 IP score. He's got a little bit of work. Nothing huge, just a little. I just set up the macro, the one macro for the new ability, but I'm debated. And there's my new fairy gauge. Woohoo! Woo! Swoopity swoop! And I ended up putting it on the 3-bar right now. With the oh snap. Eye for an eye, emergency tactics, ether pack. So transforms that next galvanized status into HP. So basically I can throw the eye for an eye and then transform it. So I can use regular eye for an eye, right? Pull, transform it, poof. Or I can stack the shield, hit the shield, and then just turn it. an ether pack. That's for my fairy. So the only one I'm debated about is that ability. If I want to keep that on a separate like setup, you know, to gauge it better. But actually I don't think so. Oh, because it is a gauged effect. So then dissipation. I want to keep the lustrate and the dissipation down below on the macro. We're overextended a little bit. Oh shit. That's another thing I forgot to do. 1 second. My Allegan tombstones are full. So I need to go spend these really freaking quick. But yeah, I definitely go try it out, man. If you guys haven't tried it, try it for free. It's not for everybody. And that's one thing I really do like. I like any type of game that promotes a free trial. Now, I will warn you. If you do want to play through the MSQ, it is lengthy. It's a good thing. I played through it. Kel here, Irish Mage, he played through it. A lot of players I know play through it. Also, Scott is playing through it still. He's getting ready to get into the new one. It is a little time consuming, so I will warn you on that. I'm just giving you a heads up, man. It is time consuming, to say the least. You know, I'll just do it this way. Now, consequently, you can use a keyboard. You can also use a mouse. So a keyboard and mouse, and you can use a controller. I mean, so you have quite a number of options at your disposal. I think we're going to be good. Oh, yeah. That's what I recommend when you start getting full, get crafting materials, especially if you can either sell them or you can just go ahead and use them towards your crafting. That's what I'm doing. When I get to this point, I'm going to have a lot of shit. Jackson, I did. Dude, I hope you've been good, brother. I hope you've been good. I miss you, man. I miss you. I miss you, Jackson. I like the MSQ. Some of it can drag on, and who likes fetch quests? I know, right? But the story is really great at places, and I'm glad I experienced it. Yeah, the storyline is worth it. I will say that. I will say that. But I feel like, players, it's been out for a while, and certain players just want to get to at least a certain point, where they can, because it's time consuming. It is very time consuming. But we have 3 months. And that's why I said, if you're going to experience it, get it for free, try it, and if you like it, get it. If you don't have to buy it. That's what's beautiful, man. But I really like it because it's like there's a nice little time period. I already got through my MSQ, and I don't expect, but it'll take you a little while. It'll take you a while to get through the MSQ, guys. It'll keep you occupied. Trust you and me. But it's really good because if you're leveling a character, you're getting experience anyways. So if you buy the potion, it'll get you up through Heaven's Ward. But in my opinion, Heaven's Ward is one of the better storylines Be right back. All right, sounds good, Jackson. It's one of the better storylines, in my opinion, and then you get some of the better fights. Now, it will unlock those dungeons for you, right? The associated dungeons, the content that's associated with the MSQ. If you drink the potion, however, like I said, you'll still have to level. You'll still have to do so much. There's so much content in this game. It's redunculous, right? I'm still like bypassing a few things that I need to do. Like Scott's already got his squadron. I still need to do my squadron. I still need to do like my side stuff for unlocks, like my blues, other little things that I'm still working on, man. So there is a slew of content, associated with this game. But as a content creator, I need to go ahead and, say, okay, well, I need to skip through this temporarily to get to this point. So when this gets ready to launch, I can provide the upfront content that players are expecting. And then, of course, I want to get into the crafting content because Mark is crafting. I feel like there are certain things, like right now he's even above me, that like he said, players are going to want if they're jumping into this new, because some of the content is a little dated. Now, I do make it a huge recommendation. If you are new to this game, there are already really good content creators. Work to Game, those two over there, Chris and Brian, are great. They're great. I will promote these two individuals. They're positive. They can set you in the right direction. Brian is really a down-to-earth individual. He can literally help you out in so many ways. They also do streams where they bring in other players and they talk about the quality of the game, the state of the game, pros and cons. So it's not just a fanboy's perspective. They also play other games, so please go check them out. Mr. Happy, he knows pretty much everything that's going on currently and what's potentially in production. So I would say go check out Mr. Happy. And then if you're looking for comic content, don't worry, Larry Zor is hilarious. I just watched his new video yesterday. Oh my god, it was funny as hell. It was amazingly funny. So we have all of that here. We do. And guess what? Excellent performance. Jackson, I do have to ask, you played multiple games. Have you had problems with performance in this game? That's what I always ask anybody. How's the performance of this game? How does it stack up against other MMO titles? That's the thing I want to ask anybody. It's like, is the game your style? It may not be. But how does it compare to what quality it is in comparison to the other titles? Because we're not talking a shooter game. We're not talking action game. We're talking MMO. And when we're talking an MMO, the one thing an MMOer wants to know is what's the content like and what's the performance like. That's only two things we give a fuck about. What's those two things like? Is it turn-based? Is it Twitch-based? Is it, what's the combat like? And what's the quality of content like? That's it. That's all I give a shit about as an MMOer. Like Final Fantasy XI. I couldn't get into Final Fantasy XI. I didn't even try Final Fantasy XIV because I didn't like 11. I literally put it in the same basket, which I shouldn't have. I should not have done that. Like, there are a lot of players who like Final Fantasy XI, and it had its anniversary. Congratulations, by the way. And I will be talking on another subject here in a minute. But when Hercules said you should try it out, and I was like, yeah, I should. Just because I should be trying it out. I agree. Well, I'm going to go harvest, man. Holy sheep. I'm sitting here and I'm like, what am I doing? Holy shit, I could be harvesting. I'm almost 50 on so many of my crafting shit. It's ridiculous. So it's amazing. Now I anticipate my 60s will probably take at least another between 50 to 60. It'll take 2 to 3 weeks. And then my 60 to 70, I should be able to wrap up, hopefully right before the launch. Now at 70, I'll be completely just busy. So I will give like everything like a heads up before, like the configurations. Once the new battle system gets put in place, I'll come out with job configurations. We have a linear system, so the gear, it's not going to be worrying about your best in slot or how to get that. Brian and them cover that content pretty well. So now I'm always, and I mean always, farming if I'm waiting on a queue as a DPS, which doesn't need DPS. I should be in a queue, but God, I love it. I love those graphics. I love those effects, all of it. Like I said, I hope they buff the machinist. Oh my. If they buff me, it's going to be really bad. It's alright. I already like the class. And that's what's most important. I'll tell you. Or job. I like the job. So in this game, nice thing. You don't have to make ults. At all. Your one character can play every job or every class. They're called jobs in this game. Without actually having to replay the content. I just like the graphics. Mark, what's up? Soon, level 68 scholar. I hope to hit it today or tomorrow. Grats, brother. Grats. Grats, man. I'm so happy for you, man. Now, just think, man. We also get the update where we're going to be able to visit other servers. So, that'll be really nice, man. So, I'm hoping to play with you guys. We're really going to be nice regardless of what server people initially start with. I'm going to be able to play with them in this new update. And given the fact that we're already cross-platform, now I do have this on PS4 as well as PC. But I typically play PC because, you know, it's just I have a gaming rig. If I can play on my PC, I much prefer playing on my PC. There is, you know, not really much of a difference because if you have the PS4 Pro, the graphics are pretty much the same. Performance is the same. The only thing about it is it's just like, you know, you get to sit down. I guess it sounds better if I was playing on my PS4 maybe. Because you can use the keyboard and mouse on the PS4. Oh, I overheated. I should have been paying attention. No, it's awesome, man. Like, everything's been growing. A couple people have been asking. When is that coming? In a month, I want to say. Well, we're getting that in a month. So, that is coming very soon. We're getting that nice server visit. You're on PC? Yeah. I have it on PS4 and PC. I'm able to access my account on either way. I don't have a separate account. It's the same account. So if I want to play on my PS4, which I do sometimes, like if I'm harvesting or I just want to kick back and just relax, yeah, I'll get on my console. I ain't going to lie. Like, you know, I have it. Now, I have to buy it separate still, but hey, man, I don't really give a shit. I'll do that shit. Always wait for the tank. Graphics are amazing. What do you think? Like, what? Okay, Mark, I really got to pick your brain. You've played multiple MMOs. Pros and cons. What do you think? What could be improved on? How does it stack up, man? What's I about to say, man? What the hell? Got stunned. A little bit of an overkill. Got stunned twice. I'm like, what the flip, man? Wait for him to sweep him up. Okay. should have saved yesterday's just for today because I knew reset, but you can get 900 pretty easy. That one's gonna be a bitch. Don't pick it up. No! Now we got potions or something. I hate this part. Don't move! Oh shit! Okay, I knew what he did. That's fine. He was trying to move it out of the way of the fireballs. That's a smart way to do it. So that tank, actually I really do like that tank. I'm gonna... No way, I turned... I was turned, no way. Really? I guess I wasn't turned enough. Oh shit. Fucked up that rotation. Dude, he had him out. He's like, he's dead. I'm calling him out. Okay. The best part is I have my summoner also. It is top tier top tier. PvP needs work, but the story is nice. I would add some dual use classes, tank, DPS, support type classes, but it's very balanced. I would not worry about gearing to the top. Right. Absolutely. Good calls, man. I think that's more accurate, man. And, you know, I mean, when you play other MMOs, you know how to gauge an MMO, man. You know the quality when you played, I don't know, you know, 5, 6 different MMOs. You know what you're looking for, right? It makes sense. But the PvP definitely needs work. So if you're a PvPer looking for a PvP MMO, don't come here. I will tell you that. Not for a while. And there is a big thing with the community too. Like, they don't want them to focus on it, but it's kept separate, so I don't see the problem. Like, the PvP and the PvE is kept separate. They just need incentive for PvP for the casuals. They need a multiple queue system. They need, you know, a smaller scale PvP. And they need to get fucking diminishing returns on the healers. Oh my god. I was gonna freaking just... Oh shit. Too far out. It just keeps getting moved. The graphics is amazing. I agree. The eye candy is just stunning. It's like, wow. Healers are always the bane of PvP. Right. It's like, it doesn't bother me that they're functionality, but it's like, we have, like, there's reasons why you have a diminishing return on heals, especially. Because, like, typically you can't kill the bastards. It's like, oh shit, and that's why everybody targets them first in groups. I love the PvP. I love the feast. Everything's set to the feast, especially competitive PvP. They have competitive PvP. They incentivize competitive PvP, which I'm not against. I actually like it. But because everything is set to the feast, it kind of feels a little, you know, one-sided, I guess. Like, I like rival wings. I like front lines. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That one's gonna hurt. Run, 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 run. Shit. Run. Now. Sayonara, motherfucker. Wait for the pull. He'll pull him across the bridge. He should. Silly baboons. These things, like, this boss at the end was just like, wowed me. I was like, look, it's the Monkey King, right? And I mean, it doesn't say the Monkey King, but it reminds me of the Monkey King. And I was like, this motherfucker hits hard with that staff, man. I was like, holy shit. Wow. No, it's amazing. The graphics are good. Smooth. Very smooth. Very smooth gameplay, man. I will tell you guys this. My problem of it is now, can I leave the game because of the performance? That's my problem. Because it performs so well, I'm spoiled. It's like, you know what? I have a problem now. I have another problem. I'm going to be spoiled on performance. And my expectation has just been risen. So, true story, old lovely Bethesda, let's talk about another topic. Old lovely Bethesda has been warned by countless critics. By countless fucking critics. Almost by like 90% of the critics out there. If you release E6 with Creation, you're going to drop like a fucking anchor. It's going to sink. It's not going to be good. And Bethesda announced, we're sticking with Creation. The same engine responsible for Fallout 76 is fall short. They're releasing with E6. And guess what I told somebody? I'll pass. I'll pass. Bye, Bethesda. bye-bye. And someone's like, and this content creator's like, well, the engine, I'm like, the engine's responsible for resolving data. Plain and simple, man. At the end of the day, that's what the engine does. Yes, it's a frame. Yes, there are add-ons and plugins associated with the tool sets to develop the product, but at the end of the day, it has to resolve the fucking code. Okay? No questions. That's what the engine does, right? So if you're going to undermine critics and the people telling you, hey man, be warned, be warned. And Bethesda wants to do some stupid shit because they're too fucking, cheap to, oh, that one's gonna suck. Hold on. White. Okay, I definitely want to go back on this one. You don't want to be around that. Or maybe I do. Yeah, Bethesda, man. Good luck, motherfuckers. Add phase. Shit. I'm dead. Yeah, this thing's not letting me proc up my sin. Expecting my fucking sin bad. Oh, that one was a little bit more chaotic than I typically go through. It's my fault. I was just messing up so bad. I'm playing PoE on PS4 now, trying it out. Oh, nice, nice, man. Let me know how that goes, man. There's a bunch of really good games out right now. No, definitely not. Oh my god, it's a minion! The Monkey King is mine! I knew it was the Monkey King. I would recommend maxing crafters and stacking cash for next expansion. Yeah, that's a good call, man. That is a good call. They think people will keep buying trash, giving them time to fix things in patches, but it's not. And that's the funny thing, right? When we go back to it and everybody wants to talk, like Bethesda, like they don't have time to fix creation. Creation's an old engine. This content creator, he's like, I have a degree in computer science and I write C++, and it's like, well, that's great, man, but there's a difference between a fucking programmer and a server engineer. A server engineer is not the programmer. Server engineer is a very my stepdad was a computer programmer who was, you know, babysitted giant servers. Let's put it that way. So I grew up with a programmer. I grew up with it. Okay? I was in a house with a programmer that used to do from binary, right? Went from binary to C+ prompt to the DOS format when they ran, you know, a DOS, you know, op system when it went from, you know, binary to C+. So I know that. And then with C++, he showed me how to, you know, when Windows operating system came in, the directories. I learned how to access directory files when I was growing up, right? Because he showed me how to do it. He showed me, you know, hey, you remember your DOS class? Yeah. Okay. You remember your C+? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, so we're going to go ahead and open this into the directory file. And I'm like, okay. So that's what I grew up with. So it was like, all right, man. So sorry there, asshole, that content creator that you're, oh, I have a degree in computer science. Well, you should have known that the engine, like Windows is an engine. Okay? Let's be real about it. Is it an operating system? It's called an operating system, yes. But it's a frame that you're using plugins. You're using add-ons. It runs software, right? Now, and another program has to also do what? It has to run on Windows, right? It has to. It's associated coding, right? So it's like, wow, man. Holy fuck. Like, I remember back in the day when they said, we can't cross-platform because there's a problem with the coding. I'm like, there's not a problem with the fucking coding. Why is there a problem with the coding? It's all C++. Your code is no different. The directory to the OS is different. The code to that to access to be able to, for that code to run on this platform needs to be written so the code can upload, right, and run on the OS. But there's no problem with the cross-platform because you're still working C++. What the fuck's the problem? You know, that's duh. Like, why? And I remember when developers used to say that bullshit. Like, we have a problem. It's a problem in the coding. Shut the fuck up. No, that's a problem with you, motherfuckers. Like, you can't figure out how to fucking, you know, pull up and write up, what, a different, you know, a directory for an op? You know, but let's take a look at Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV, right, had a terrible launch. Why? The engine. So what did they do? They scrapped the original engine in this game. They trashed it. They said, fuck it, we're done with this engine. We're going to pull the source code and the code from this engine, which is painstaking work, to retrieve all that data and transfer it into a new engine and reconfigure the code we've already done, the work we've already done to the new engine. And they did that. So for somebody to tell me that it can't be done, you're full of fucking shit. Once I... Okay, I got a skirt C dash. All right, man. Take care, Mark. But yeah, no, there's always going to be a problem with how player or how people perceive code, right? It's just a problem with it. But in actuality, the code hasn't changed. It hasn't evolved so much, right? As much as people think. The tech behind coding has evolved way more than coding. And it's like, oh, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, code hasn't changed. Like, we still take a look at binary, and binary is still binary. C plus is still C plus. C plus plus is still C plus plus. HTTP is still HTTP. I mean, yeah, I guess in the mobile aspect of, coding, that's evolved. I will say that. But, in an overall perspective to the development or the evolution of coding, it hasn't changed much. So this to me is what's strange when people make excuses. And for this individual to go ahead and downplay that it's not the problem of creation that Bethesda's bumping into these problems. More or less, it's the plugins as individuals. That's totally bullshit because the framework is the resolution. When we talk about gaming and you talk about like testing, it's all about what? The code resolving. That's what it's referred to, the resolve. Is the code resolving in order? Are we getting errors in our resolution? Or rendering in a graphic sense. So graphics are referred to rendering, but anything to the other code elements is resolution or resolving. So if there's an error, it prompts if you've set up things correctly. So to make any excuse and for Bethesda to completely keep this engine running at its current state is going to be the downfall. If they fuck up now, can Bethesda fix creation? Yes, it's code. It's code, right? It can be fixed. It can be resolved. There's ways to get around that. But in the time frame it needs to be, no, absolutely not. It takes this. Why a lot of people lease out engines. It takes a lot of time. What's up, David? It takes a lot of time and a lot of money to build these type of engines. It's very painstaking, man. That's why certain companies don't develop games. They develop engines for games. That's what their market is. And certain companies are really good at it. Up until Epic launched its games, Epic's been known for what? The Unreal Engine, right? It's known for it. It's won multiple awards. It's one of the smoothest running engines in the industry. It's not the only engine, but it's very smooth. Why? But they have tons of people on that engine. What? Engineering it. They engineer that engine. Right? It makes sense. So can creation be fixed? Absolutely. All we see from the Unreal is the adaptations, the advancement of the base of the engine being, extended or being added to its what the engine's capable of. So can creation become good? Yes, but the problem of it is it has fundamental problems in what? Resolution of certain code. And that's the problem. And it's like Bethesda's shooting themselves in the foot. You have your 25th anniversary. We can anticipate a fourth quarter release. So I imagine sometime this summer we're going to get the announcement that E6 is going to release by the end of the year, given the 25th anniversary this year. And that's why they're going to stay with creation, because now they're committed. But unfortunately, it's going to be the fall that's going to hurt the most, because you fucked up. Nobody's going to play the bugs. You fell short with Fallout 76. You're going to still use creation, right? Just buy Unreal 4 and get to making a game, right? I mean, well, and there's other ones, but Unreal is known. It's just a very solid engine. It's just a solid engine. You don't even have to buy it. It's free. Like, they'll charge you on the back end for the launch. But a lot of people don't want to do that, right? Because it is costly to utilize that engine. So a lot of companies want to, use another engine. But, you're doing it at your own risk, right? It's just the way it is. I mean, hey, there are companies that just do what? Develop engines. And if you're a company trying to do both, well, that's kind of maybe a little bit of a problem. And you need the talent behind it. It takes a lot of time to develop these engines. It's just, it's very time consuming, man. Very time consuming. So, Elder Scrolls is my favorite title. I played them all. Bugs and all, I played them all. But E6, I'm passing, man. I can't condone it anymore. I can't condone it as a consumer, as a content creator. I cannot condone bad decision making. And for Bethesda to utilize the engine when it's fundamentally flawed at its core, base code is fucked. It's like, and for anybody to justify it is fucking dumb. If they say, I got these credentials, I don't give a fuck about your credentials. I grew up with a fucking programmer, man. Shut the fuck up who babysit and program servers. Don't tell me your fucking credentials. I've been around this shit since I was a kid. So shut the fuck up. You know, don't tell me about your fucking credentials, bitch. You know, fucking don't tell me about it. You know, I grew up in a house with 4 computers when even having a computer in a house was a rarity. It's like, shut the flying fuck up. You know, seriously. That just pisses me off. That, you know, people would want to act like, oh, it's not the engine's fault. It's the you know, the plugins that's associated that need, you know, all of these. And like, nah, Homs, no. An engine does one thing. Yes, you use other tools and software that's incorporated into the structure of the engine. I agree with that. That's 100% accurate. But the engine does one thing, and mainly one specific thing. It ties everything together and resolves the code. End of day. End of discussion. It's used to develop video games. The tools within the engine are used to develop the product, and the engine itself, guess what? Renders or resolves the code. End of subject. It's end of subject. That's what the engine does. Why do you call it an engine? Because engines make cars run, right? That's why they're called engines. Why are games engines called engines? Because it makes the game run. Okay? There you go. Terminology 101. We'll simplify it. All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Kel. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in. And welcome, PS4 players, to Final Fantasy XIV. I hope you guys have fun in it. All right. Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystics MMOs. As always, thank you. Have a nice day.